I never thought I'd be the villain in my own family story. For 68 years, I've been the one who shows up, with casseroles, with checks tucked into birthday cards, with a spare room always made up for anyone who needed it. So when I say what happened at that rehearsal dinner changed everything, I need you to understand I'm not exaggerating. I'm still finding bruises, both the kind you can see and the kind you can't. My grandson Tyler is the light of my life. I practically raised him during the years his parents were working double shifts to keep the lights on. He calls me every Sunday. He named his dog after my late husband. So when he told me he was engaged to a woman named Vanessa, I was thrilled, even though something in her eyes always felt guarded around me, like I was an obstacle rather than family. The rehearsal dinner was at a lovely little restaurant downtown, the kind with string lights and too much bread. Everything was fine until the toast started. I stood up, glass in hand, and told a story about Tyler as a boy, how he used to fall asleep in my garden because he loved the smell of the tomato plants. It was sweet, innocent. People laughed. Vanessa did not laugh. She stood up so fast her chair scraped the floor, and she told me, in front of 40 guests, that I needed to stop trying to make the wedding about myself. I was stunned. I tried to apologize, to explain I meant no harm, and that's when she grabbed my arm hard enough to leave a mark and shoved me back into my seat. My son had to physically step between us. The room went dead silent except for my granddaughter-in-law to be shouting that I'd always been like this. I left in tears. Tyler texted me that night, apologizing, saying Vanessa was stressed and it wouldn't happen again. But something in me had already shifted. I realized that I had spent my whole life being the family's soft place to land, and in one dinner, I'd been shown exactly how disposable that made me. So I made a decision that shocked everyone. I called my lawyer the next morning and rewrote the trust one had planned to split among my grandchildren. I called the venue I'd been quietly paying a deposit on for Tyler's wedding. Yes, I was the one covering half of it, something none of them knew, and I canceled it. I sent a short, calm email to the family group chat. I would not be attending the wedding, I would not be hosting any future holidays at my home, and I would no longer be available for babysitting, loans, or family favors, until I received a genuine apology, not a performative one. The backlash was immediate. My daughter-in-law called me dramatic. My son said I was punishing everyone for one bad night. Tyler, my sweet Tyler, sent a message that broke my heart, that I was choosing pride over family. But here's what none of them wanted to admit. I wasn't punishing anyone. I was simply stepping back from a role I'd been playing for decades without anyone asking if I was okay in it. Weeks passed. The wedding venue fell through because they'd been counting on my deposit without telling me it was the deciding factor. Suddenly phone calls started coming in, not to check on me, but to negotiate. And that's when I understood something painful but freeing. My presence had never been about love in some of their eyes. It had been about utility. Eventually, Tyler came to my house alone. He sat at my kitchen table, the same one he did his homework on as a boy, and he cried. He admitted Vanessa had a pattern of controlling behavior he'd been making excuses for, and that the incident at the dinner wasn't the first, just the first anyone else saw. He apologized, really apologized, for not protecting me in that moment. I told him I loved him more than anything, but that love doesn't mean silence, and it doesn't mean handing over my peace just to keep others comfortable. We're rebuilding slowly. I did not go to the wedding. I don't know if I ever will attend anything with Vanessa in it, not until real accountability happens. But I no longer feel guilty about protecting myself. Family should be a place of safety, not a stage where you're expected to absorb harm quietly to keep the peace. I spent decades being the family's backbone. I'm done being its punching bag.